as I'm getting near the end of the project, I want to talk to some people who believed it and kind of got out of it. So I think that's you. Yeah. Do you mind if I record the audio of this just so I can go back to it later?
Please do. Don't worry
Okay.
about it. And I was going to tell you, I am recording it on my end also, like, documenting my interactions around. But it's up to you. I mean, depends if you wish me to hold on to it and don't, share it
I
yet.
I don't mind if you record it all. The only thing I was gonna ask is I know you have a YouTube channel. If you don't mind just like not putting it up on there because the book's not
No,
out.
exactly. No, that's the problem. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my question. I will hold on to it until, in a near future, whenever you tell me, it's been out or whatever, then I'll
Mhm.
share it after that. Not
I think the book is coming out next
late.
autumn, so it's gonna be a long
Okay,
time.
yeah, no
But
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'll keep it this just for my own. I'll share it with my partner later.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, to get started, could you tell me a little bit about how you got into flat Earth?
It's been an interesting journey. I am born and raised in Puerto Rico, a normal normal guy. I came to United States in 2005, and just working. I did a lot of work in retail business and stuff. I'm a people person. Uh, on 2007, early 2007, I was gonna do some repairs around the house, so I was just gonna paint the house. I said, let me look up for a little podcast, something to listen on my phone as I work around. And I was maybe a month, maybe for the previous month, I was hooked listening to uh, talks, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio
Mhm.
Kaku. I was really interested into the cosmos and all the stuff. I was really into it, just listening to a lot of science and stuff. Just mind blown, the scale and how small is the Earth and how big is the universe and all those theories about black holes and stuff. And that day, as I was scrolling up, I said, like, damn, I seen every Michio Kaku video, and I saw one. I said, like, damn, flat Earth keep popping in my recommendations again. So writing about flat Earth, it was popping up for maybe a few months, and I always ignored it. That my mind didn't even catch it. I said, oh, flat Earth, and then that day, like, what the hell is this flat Earth? I had no idea whatsoever. My education, just normal high school education. I didn't have college or nothing. So what I know is what everybody pretty much knows. And then I said, I'm gonna click this one, Joe Rogan talking to Eddie Bravo. That's straight up. I
Uh,
remember like if it was today. That was maybe January or February of 2017. And I said, let me click on it, 15 minutes video, and I start listening to it. And you heard Eddie Bravo ranting, Joe Rogan, no, like there's no real pictures of Earth from space, Joe. And he's like, are you crazy? How many satellites and stuff? And I was like laughing, like, what the hell is this guy on about? And he was going into conspiracy, space is fake, and no pictures of Earth from space. You Google any satellites, and you're not gonna see any pictures. And my mind was rolling, like, what the hell? And the video ended. I said, interesting. Let me check on what recommendation is next. And there was a video called "A Strangest Guide to Flat Earth." 20 questions answered. I think it was by ODD TV. It was the
okay.
channel, and I clicked on it. And the first question they say, "Oh, people is questioning the shape of the Earth," and I have my phone in my pocket. This is how the flat Earth looks. If you put yourself in the North Pole, that's gonna be the center, like you imagine a disc. And then if and as he was explaining, I said, "What is he talking about?" When I pulled my phone and I saw the first ever picture of the flat Earth, and it was that azimuthal equidistant map, like a little flat map projection with the North Pole in the center and the continents layout and Antarctica surrounding it, right? The PISA model, and I go like, oh, my third open eye, like, holy cow, there's an alternative. I didn't even think there could be anything else besides a globe, but just me being just ignorant and not thinking about it. I said like, wow, this is really interesting. Let me look further, and I kept listening videos and listening to videos, and I came across a bunch of YouTube content creators. It was just on YouTube listening. My channel didn't even have content. I had content from 11 or 12 years ago. I worked in a racetrack, so I did a couple clips, videos on my work. But my
Mhm.
YouTube channel, I used it just to listen and whatever. I didn't even know there was live shows on YouTube that you could interact in the chats. So I came across a live stream. I said, "Oh, live! Let me see. Hello!" I type in "hello." Hey, hello, Jose. I go like, "Whoa, this is the good stuff." So I sat down. I started chatting with people like, "Hey, what do you think? Is the Earth flat or not?" I'm not sure. I'm just looking into it, and I was on and on for 6 or 7 months. Uh, Maybe the month 6 or 7, there was a channel with an open debate, flat Earth debate channel. So I joined into that show, and that was it. That was the beginning of it. I kind of became a part of the members. The guy has some kind of questions. Today, the way I see him today are misrepresented questions, misconceptions about the Earth. They changing around in a way that makes you think, like, say, like, it makes no sense. The way they ask it, it doesn't work on the actual shape of the Earth. So some of the channels, they propose some questions that it makes sense if you are not too aware on the actual mechanism of where you at. I was part of the big channel. I remember one of them. There is, without even knowing it.
Mhm.
Ask me more. I don't know what to go. If you want me to kind of continue, give you
No,
a little bit of.
that's fascinating. And, I've heard that same story from so many people. You click a YouTube video and then you click the ones in the sidebar and it just kind of pulls you along. Um, did you, were you like very open with people in real life about believing in flat Earth?
Since the first day that I click on the first video, I think a few days after, I couldn't take it off my mind. The only thing I thought it was about the shape of the Earth and science. I said, like, holy cow! And I'm looking to the skies. I said, like, yeah, this is all a big lie. A big. It's so big that that is mind blowing that nobody realized that we might live in a flat plane. And my questions were like the satellites and trips to space. But then my same mind told me, like, no, 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 there are explanations on flat Earth. All of those are hoaxes, and they throw the rocket up and they throw it in the sea. So no rockets are going up too high, and all the pictures you presented, they're just composite and CGI images. So I said, like, yeah, no, no, no. So I wanted in one spot, I wanted to believe it. I wanted flat Earth to be real, and in the back of my mind, I was like, damn, I'm gonna be big because I'm gonna be one of the few people that is really gonna unmask this big lie and on all these big shenanigans. All the government is lying, all the space agencies, and everybody is on it. And I thought about the pyramid, like we are in the bottom, and then there was whatever the government, and then above that was the puppet masters, and then you got. I thought like there was at least one little individual, or one family, like is feeding all the news to tell it's a globe and throwing all the pictures and telling all the presidents and all the big people what to say, how to act. I really had that mentality that it was a pyramid, like somebody in the top was like a puppet master. At work, I worked in a supermarket by then, and I told the people, like, hey, I'm looking into this thing on YouTube, and I don't think the Earth is round. What do you mean? I think the Earth is flat. Like, oh man, I saw that the other day, and that's such a joke. I said, like, dude, it's really not a joke. Like, look into it and research the flat Earth. And maybe 1 month I was kind of a joke because everybody like, oh, look at Jose, like the flat Earth. We had pictures in the wall of the employees, and then they drew a little pizza, like a little pizza dish, and they drew flat Earth in the term. I was like, oh my god. Uh, but I was really open talking to everybody now. I was pulling the office by the manager one time. They say, hey, you gotta, chill out a little bit. I see you stopping and talking to everybody. Yeah, it's good to talk to the employees, but try to get your work done. And I heard you're talking about these conspiracy theories of flat Earth. I said, yeah, I gotta control myself a little bit because I was excited. It was something new that I discovered, and I wanted to talk about it. So with everybody everywhere, I wanted to talk about the flat Earth big time. Now on myself, I didn't do any math, any deep research. I just Googled what the flat earthers told me to look. They say, hey, look into this manual of aviation, look into this page and this line, and they say, oh, this is what you're going to read, and this is how you interpret it. So I was researching what they told me to look into, kind of in the middle, a little cherry pick quote that they can interpret as the Earth is treated as flat or stationary. So I said, like, look at the manuals of the planes. It's actually saying that the Earth is flat and stationary. I didn't read what's before and after that for exercises and tests and practice. It's got to be treated like that because it's just in a small scale, in whatever you're doing. So I didn't understand, and I just I was so deep into the rabbit hole and spreading everybody, and everybody was making fun of it. They said, you know what? At the end of the day, we respect you. You think whatever you want. We know you're full of crap. You know, it's just BS, pretty much.
Mhm. Did you make friends in the flat Earth community?
I a lot of people, a lot of people. That group of the show that I was participant, he had a daily show, a few hours, and yeah, there was at least 6 or 7 people that they were really close, and we had like personal contacts, and not my phone number, but on Skype, Discord, and Google Hangouts and stuff. We used to call each other and do little private calls, chatting among ourselves, uh, just random stuff. In real life, I met nobody that was, that really believed in the flat Earth, and I talked to a few hundred of people about it, but nobody believed it in real life on the internet. Now, I always got something about friends. I really considered I'm not having friends, not because I'm a very social guy, very open, very family guy, but it's a I know a lot of people, and I got connections, and I exchange and I interact with people. But calling friends, I had friends when I was a kid in Puerto Rico, trust each other, everything, but I never met after I was an adult. I never found that one person that I actually trust 100% outside my family and my close family.
Mhm. So I saw in a comment on, you good?
I was telling my fan is hot
Oh,
here.
yeah, no worries. Because I found you in a comment on, you wrote a comment on Mick West's video, and you said you were a flat earther until I think the end of 2018. So what caused you to start doubting it?
Since the beginning, I was a special one, because 90% of the people come through the flat Earth through somebody else. Somebody either point at them like, "Look at this video, content creator," and then we'll talk about it. And they've been introduced by others. Me coming in from out of nowhere, just organically and randomly, that I found those videos and I fell in it. Uh, I found also there was a lot of debunkers videos and the globe proponents. And I said, like, look at that. They feel the need. They have to debunk the flat earth. That means there's some truth, and they got to take it down before it spreads. So I was also participating in a group, a Discord group of the globe proponents. Those globe proponents were kicked out of the flat earth debate that I was participating, because they had a lot of information, and the flat earth didn't like, get the hell out of my show. And they said like, yeah, we're gonna boycott him. We're not gonna join no more. We're gonna open this little group separate and hang out and want us if anybody want to come in and talk to us. So I actually went and talked to the globe proponents. I was always very respectful and talking to them. So people in the flat earth, since almost the beginning, they start calling me like, "Oh, you were a flip flopper." They called me flip flop. That was my nickname that I gained, and I actually got my second channel. I call it flip flop just for the hell of it. I say like, what do you mean? Oh, you go over there to talk with the glovers, the bowlers, the glovers. That's the terms. And you talk to them, and you're all nice and chatting with them, and then you come over here and you're all nice and chatting with us. I say, what do you want me to do? To go and yell at them and start swearing at them and mistreating them and just acting like whatever. They say, oh no, you are flattered and you have to commit to it. You don't talk to them. You cannot listen what they gotta say. It's a lie and whatever. I say like, dude, no, I'm let me be. As the time progresses, I get a hold of a zooming camera. Is the flat Earth camera of choice, P900, that's a Nikon
Mhm.
camera, and it's a telescopic camera, beautiful. And I do like photography, but I never had a telescopic camera. So I'm gonna go out and do long distance observations as everybody does. With that camera, which it was owned by one of the bigger flat Earth proponents on the YouTube community, I did a little GoFundMe when I was a flat Earth. I said, hey, I want to buy me a zooming camera. I want to go out and do tests and observations of myself and share with everybody. So through that GoFundMe, somebody bought the camera from him, and they say, hey, Jose, an anonymous donor. He said, we bought the camera from this person, and now it's yours. I said, like, holy cow, I not only have the camera, I got the camera from the man, one of the big flat Earth proponents. This is great. So I got a hold of the camera. I started doing my own observations, sharing the videos. And I was holding back some observations because I couldn't explain it. When I zoom into this building, I couldn't see the bottom of the buildings, right? So I was like, "Oh shit! I'm sorry, no sorry. Oh shoot! What's going on here? Let me put this on the side and keep recording." So I was sharing a lot of videos with atmospheric conditions. We got Fata Morgana and inferior mirages, which is beautiful to look at. So some atmospheric conditions make objects to disappear from the bottom up due to some mirroring effect and all that stuff, right? And it was kind of not evidence for the flat, not evidence for the globe. I said, yeah, it could be an atmospheric phenomenon is going on that we don't know. But then these clear videos with the obstruction of the boats, of the buildings, of the lighthouses from the bottom up with a sharp horizon and a very nice day, I was holding back a little bit. And then I start feeling bad. I said, like, why am I holding this back? I want to be honest with myself. I want to find the truth. Let me start sharing them with some of the globe proponents first to see what they say, and then I'll share it with the flat earthers. The globe proponents are like, yeah, welcome to the globe. That's the curvature of the earth. I said, yeah, but it might be this, it might be that. It was kind of a funny 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months that I went by. I said, like, I mean, it makes sense on the globe. Yeah, it's an easy explanation. If I want to explain to you how would this phenomena happen on a flat plane, because perspective and all the rules of light and vision, I understood a lot about the Snell's law, how light behaves, and perspective drawing I used to draw before. So I understood that in a flat plane, things never disappear from the bottom up, but I wanted to believe it so hard. So I was choosing these distorted images with atmospheric phenomena and hiding the very clear images until I start putting it up. And one day I decided, I said, you know what, I'm going to come clean. Oh, one big detail, I didn't want to look up in the sky because as easy as a sunrise and a sunset, when you look up, it's impossible on a flat plane because I've seen explain on the flat model disk type of thing, and it just doesn't work. Anything about the stars, the sun, and the moon. So when I was in those few months holding observations, I said I'm gonna focus and research a little bit about the skies and everything. I said, like, yeah, if I put myself in the third person, Earth is a sphere, the sun, the moon, the stars very far away, everything works just beautiful, just perfect. But I had that thing like, no, I gotta hold back. Maybe I can find an alternative before. But the thing is, there was never an alternative. There was only question and deny the globe. I'm gonna ask you about the globe. You're gonna tell me, and then at the end of the day, I'm gonna deny it because of reasons. And you're gonna tell me how this works in the globe, and I'm gonna deny it because of reasons. So the flat Earth became on this. I'm gonna question the globe. I'm gonna ask you to tell me again your explanation, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna sweep it under the rug, and I'm gonna deny what you tell me. And I saw that very disingenuous, and I decided to come clean. I went to a smaller channel, and I said, like, hey, you know what, this flat Earth, what is going on? You know, let's rethink about it. What I'm going to, I told the guy, the host of the show, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go back to adopt the globe, because everything I learn about the globe and about the Earth, about science, is through the eyes of a flat earther. But looking to both sides of the coin, everything makes sense and can be explained on a globe, but some things kind of make sense on a flat earth, but cannot be presented. Any evidence, it cannot be backed up with any type of evidence. So I will keep researching. I am interested in an alternative, but because I haven't been presented an alternative on the mechanics, how such a simple thing as a sunrise and a sunset works, how things get obstructed from the bottom up in the distance, you know. Then I will gonna adopt the globe, and everything is I'm gonna be on the globe side while still giving flat Earth an opportunity to present, you know, your side of the story. And that role that was raised hell. Everybody went crazy. What? Jose betrayed us. He was a plant from the beginning. He was never a flat earther. Dude, that was the craziest few days, of my life. Everybody attacked me and started calling me all the names. They thought I was a plant. They thought I was a paid agent. Oh, how much they paid you, the Globers? How much what did they give you? You're a scammer. You just wanted the camera and then just leave the flat earth. Every single name, every single insult. A few weeks after, it starts slowing down, but that was at the end of 2018. As for today, like as for yesterday, people still told me you were never a flat earther. I still talk to some flat earthers on YouTube. You were never a flat earther. So like, what are you talking about? Like, what is going on? Let's talk about the topic on hand. Let's talk about how things work. But they decide to then attack the person and try to bring the personal things, so they don't address directly the actual points and how things work. I'm trying to make them see and understand that the only honest approach, if they are really interested in science and the shape of the earth, is to accept what is already presented to us and find an alternative and then present it and postulate it, get a peer review, analyze it, talk about it. But what they're doing is disingenuous because they say, I'm going to deny everything that already exists, and I'm not going to give you any alternative. I'm just going to deny everything. Pretty much, it has changed a lot what Flat Earth was 3 years ago till what it is today.
Mhm. What do you mean it's changed over the past 3 years? Can you explain that a little more?
In the beginning, when I started looking into this, the content creators that I used to watch on YouTube, they used to explain how things work on a flat Earth. They say, this is how the flat Earth model looks. We got the North Pole in the center, and we got the outside perimeter. Was I'm giving you one example, and they explain how the flat Earth looks from high up as a whole. Today, they have no model. They say, we don't have a model of flat Earth. We don't know how it looks. All we know is a flat plane and it is no curvature. I said, but let me see an illustration. No. And I say, like, what happened a few years ago? You used to believe this was the model. No. That's a straw man. They use a lot of fallacies. They got the arguments with that's a straw man fallacy. We don't say that's the flat Earth model, because if we say that's the flat Earth model, then the rotation of the stars is not going to work, or the sunrise or the sunset, or the distances from Sydney, Australia to Santiago, Chile, or whatever. They find some holes. Back in the day, they say this is how a sunrise and a sunset works. And they have some kind of computer models and little small scale models. And they put some kind of Fresnel lens, and they say the sunrise, the sunset, when you move it away, the atmosphere acts as a lens, and it just make objects disappear from the bottom up. Today, they say, why are you looking into the skies to tell me the shape of the earth? Like, I don't have to look anything in the skies. Back in the day, they say, like, no, this is how the rotation of the stars work. You grab a mirror and you put it like this, that you do the demonstration. Today, they say, I don't have to look, same thing, I don't have to look in the skies to tell you what the shape of the earth is. So everything changed from flat earth trying to present evidence and alternatives to today, nobody presents how anything works. What everybody's in agreement is they are going to destroy and dismantle how the globe model works. That's the words they use. We're going to dismantle the globe model, and that's it. But then, per default, we don't feel the earth spinning. We don't see any curvature. The earth is flat. That's their take. It's very odd, very weird how they have evolved.
Wow,
Because
yeah.
and it's because everything have been debunked. All the points they used to present. A lot of globe proponents and debunkers. There was a lot of globe proponents and debunkers that came in. I don't know where they come from. It's just interesting, engaging. But there are other channels that just normal people that say, like, this makes no sense, because if they say this and I just do a quick Google search and I look for this air route of the planes, it's easily debunkable. So they saw that it was the points they were presenting easy to debunk. So now they don't want to commit to anything on how anything works.
That makes sense. That kind of lines up with what I've seen. Yeah, wow. I think my I think my last question for the time being is, how do you feel now being away from flat Earth?
That's a loaded question,
Yeah.
and I tell you why.
Okay.
Because what I did after I left Flat Earth in 2018, I got me a laptop, a cheap computer, and I'm still using it. And I always wanted to do little shows on YouTube, live shows where I invite people and I talk to them, do little one-on-ones interviews, and pick on their brains a little bit and try to not convince them, but make them understand and understand where they're coming from. Just talk. So I started doing my little shows, and it was a instant success. I had 10 people watching my first show live, and I had like 3 or 4 guesses on the actual YouTube chat, and those names had big YouTube channels. So through that, one big channel, he said, like, hey, shout out to Jose. He's got a small YouTube channel. Go give him some support, or go check what he's doing. He's doing a little open hangouts and talking to people. My channel blew up and grew. Right now, my channel is a small channel with under 3,000 subscribers, but I got 150, 200 people watching my shows every day. Every day, I do a YouTube show where I do an open panel, and I call it the Daily Boom. So I got the Daily Boom, where I share the link out there on YouTube, and I say 25% of the people that watch are flat earthers, big flat earth proponents, and they like clicking onto the link, joining on my show, and talking and trying to challenge and try to ask questions about the globe. But it's like Groundhog Day every day. They ask the same question every day. They got the same misunderstandings every day. They got the same misconceptions, and a lot of globe proponents join. But by that I mean yesterday I had a special show with two surveyors, like master surveyors active today, Jessica Oslowski and Larry Scott. They are recognized, their names are out there. There's a professor from the university, and he works on satellites, Professor Phil Bell. There's a doctor, he's a pilot too, Dr. Bob the science guy. We got Blue Marble Science, he's also a pilot. We got retired engineers. We got actual working PhDs. So there's a lot of people with a lot of credentials that actually join to my show because they like talking to people, engaging with people. And the beauty is that people with big credentials, they get to talk with normal people like me that misunderstand some things and are trying to learn, and that's good for them. But then you find this little guy that come in like, I don't believe you because you tell me you got credentials. I don't have to believe what you say. So it's very interesting, the dynamic, and it's very dynamic, very right in everybody's faces daily on YouTube, and I'm still doing it. So I left flat Earth as for I didn't believe it. I understand how everything works on the globe. My misconceptions, it was a scale, the distances. I just wanted to believe. I just wanted to be some part of something very special. That it just never came to fruition. I realized before it was too late that I was making a mistake. I lost a lot of dream. I was laughed at, and I got a lot of issues with my family, my personal family, and everything after I left flat Earth. Everything, I came back to life. It's all good. It's all nice. It's all normal, and I'm still hanging out with the same people, even though they're still calling me names. And I was never a flat earther, and you a-hole, whatever. It's funny. It's funny that I'm still in the same neighborhood of the YouTube. I like talking to people, so yeah, I'm gonna continue doing that. My little open panels for people. I offer them to come in and do presentations, surveying, flying planes, and the dynamics of Earth, thermodynamics, things very deep, very advanced. Some guys want to come into the show and they want to learn about all the second law of thermodynamics in a 2 hours show on YouTube when they never took the either basic trigonometry or anything about science, but they want to understand it in 2 hours. At the end of the day, they don't understand it. They say like, "Yep, I'm gonna disregard everything you say. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and ask you again." It's kind of a fun thing. I tag it as entertainment because it is entertaining, but we all learn along the way. The people that hang out on my little channel.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jose, this has been really awesome. I might have some follow-up questions for you in the future. Right now, I got to go get my kid.
I see. I'm sorry,
but
holding you back.
No worries at all. I really appreciate your time. This is, like I said, been super interesting. So much appreciated.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to meet you. And yeah, holler at me whenever you wish. You got my email and you got my Skype.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you very much. Good time.
Thanks. Bye.